La, I'm so confused. Shit, hold up, chat. So we are gonna be hopping on the Seneca fucking grind. We are also wait, why are we playing games? Bitch, no, we not have to play no fucking games. Okay, there we go. We're gonna go live as we fucking speak. I forgot to fucking post. Let me end live and then restart this. Hold up. So there's the posting on the TikTok, and after the TikTok, what we're going to fucking do is we are going to stream. Sweet little bumblebee, I know what you want from me. Okay, there we go, guys, and we're going to open up the other slide where I think this is just charting. There we go. Putting on the glasses of the true alpha. Boom, we got our reading shades on. We're about to get intellectually challenged. Sounds fucking good, right? And we will be. Okay, so before we start up stream today, I just want to say I had a great morning. And I don't think a great morning needs to be, filled with happiness. I believe that a good morning comes from, you doing what you have to, even though you don't want to. And I want to always spread that message to a bunch of individuals, because I feel like we've kind of don't have a sense of what the fuck happiness is. And, me, myself, I'm happy as fuck, even like just because I have a roof over my head. Like, this is still freshly newer concept. I want to say, like, I've been thinking this for almost a year now, but I've experienced way more happiness in my life when you have like long-term goals, even if you don't want to fucking do them. It just helps at the end of the game. Type fucking dick, you know what I mean? Like, and you know what I mean, guys? Okay, so we are gonna fucking open up the book right now. Oh, guys, look at my new fucking diary. Hello Kitty, bought this yesterday. Brand new diary. I love my diary. I don't care. I think I'm gonna write a video about how having a diary low-key helped me. Like, how having a diary made me like Nietzsche. How having a diary how having a diary is less gay than Franz Kafka having a diary. Right. Let's get on some fucking serious shit, you know what I mean? Like, we are fucking tapping into the fucking intellectual books, you know what I mean? Putting the words in the sentence, making them make senses. Whew. You already know we got the lucky pencil. Don't forget y'all's the lucky pencils. And before we start, I want to read this bookmark that I low-key fucking have that I got from Nevada that I like to read sometimes. You are a very virtuous person. You have chosen the path of righteousness and you will be very happy. You are not easily influenced. Your relatives have a great deal of respect for you. They know that you have a keen mind and an understanding nature. You have a good sense of values. You love a beautiful home, and one of these days you will be in possession of one. Something little like that helps, brighten my day. When a fucking random robot genie that doesn't even make sense as a concept just fucking put that shit in there. And I put in some coins and it spat this shit out. I was like, fuck yeah, Crip, the fuck? Okay. We're taking a hit off the vaporizer and then we're locking in. So we're at letter 18, page 51. It is the month of December, and yet the whole city is in a sweat. Festivity at state expense is given unrestricted license. Everywhere there echoes the noise of preparations on a massive scale. It all suggests that the Saturnalia holidays are different from the ordinary working day. When the difference is really non-existent, so much so, in fact, that the man who said that December used to be a month, but it is now a year, was, in my opinion, not far wide of the mark. Wait. I'm going to read that back. So much so, in fact, that the man who said that December used to be a month, but is now a year, was a year, was, in my opinion, not far wide off the mark. If I had you with me, I should enjoy consulting you and finding out what course you think we should follow. Okay, wait up. So, should we make no alteration in our daily habits, or should we take off our togas? Time was when a change from formal wear would come about only during periods of grave political upheaval, where with us it happens for holidays and pleasure's sake. And have dinner parties with a note of gaiety about them to avoid giving the impression that we disagree with the ways of those around us. If I know you as well as I think I do, and you had to give a decision in the matter, you would say that we should be neither altogether like nor altogether. Wait. Let me fucking. I think I do, and you had a given decision in that matter. You would say that we should be neither altogether like nor altogether, unlike the festive hatted crowd. But perhaps this is the very reason when we should be keeping the soul under strict control, making it unique in abstaining from pleasure just when the crowd are all on pleasure bent. But like, then there's no fun. But like, this whole kind of thing is about like, pleasure not being, like, not fucking seeking pleasure. Like, that's this whole fucking read. And, I agree with them to an extent, because I still believe that we deserve to have like some sorts of pleasure. Like, I guess like long-term pleasure, does that even count as pleasure? I don't even believe so. Like, word on the street, I highly doubt that it actually does correlate in any sense. If the soul succeeds in avoiding either heading or being carried, being carried away in the direction of the temptations that lead people into extravagant living. No super proof of its strength of purpose can be vouchsafed it remaining dry and sober. Takes a good deal more strength of will when everyone about one is puking drunk. It takes a more developed sense of fitness, on the other hand, not to make of oneself a person apart, to be neither indistinguishable from those around one, nor conspicuous by one's difference. To do the same thing, but not in quite the same manner. Okay, that's kind of a fucking banger. Let's For a holiday can be celebrated without extravagant festivities. Still, my determination to put your moral strength of purpose to the test is such that I propose to give even you the following direction, found in great men's teaching. Set aside now and then a number of days during which you will be content with the plainest of food, and very little of it, and with rough, coarse clothing, and will ask yourself, is this what one used to dread? Okay, wait up. I'm gonna read this part again. I propose to give even you the following direction. Found in a great man's teaching, set aside now and then a number of days during which you will be content with the plainest of food, and very little of it will be rough, coarse clothing, and will ask yourself, is this what one used to dread? It is in times of security, and the spirit should be preparing itself to deal with difficult times. While fortune is bestowing favors on it, then it is the time for it to be strengthened against her rebuffs. In the midst of peace, the soldier carries out maneuverous throws up earthworks against a non-existent enemy, and tires himself out with unnecessary toil in order to be equal to it when it is necessary. If you want a man to keep his head when the crisis comes, you must give him some training before it comes. This was the aim of the men who once every month pretended they were poor, bringing themselves face to face with want, to prevent their ever being terrified by a situation which they had frequently rehearsed. Okay. This was the aim of the men who once every month pretended they were poor, bringing themselves face to face with want, to prevent their ever being terrified by a situation which they had frequently rehearsed. You must not at this point imagine that I mean meals like Timon's or the poor man's room, or anything else to which the extravagance of wealth resorts to amuse away its tedium. That palate must be a real one, and the same applies to your smock. And your bread must be hard and grimy. Endure all this for 3 or 4 days at a time, sometimes more, so that it is a genuine trial and not an amusement. As at the end of it, believe me, Lucilius, you will reveal in being sated for a penny, and will come to see that security from care is not dependent on fortune, for even when she is angry, she will always let us have what is enough for our needs. Okay, another fucking W Mother Nature reference. We love you, Mother Nature. W Mother Nature. And there is no reason, mind you, why you should suppose yourself to be performing a considerable feat in doing this. You will only be doing something done by thousands upon thousands of slaves and slaves and paupers, but take credit on one account, that you will be doing it for your own free choice. Epicurus, as the next sentence indicates, rich men sometimes had a room fitted out for the purpose. Let's just and you will be doing it of your own free choice. Did my fucking stream turn off? Okay, no, I didn't. I did not. Okay, that's good. Of your own free choice, and finding it no more difficult to endure on a permanent basis than to try out once in a while. We should be practicing with a dummy target, getting to be at home with poverty, so that fortune cannot catch us unprepared. We shall be easier in our minds when rich, if we have come to realize how far from burdensome it is to be poor. The greatest hedonist teacher. Okay, hold up. We fucking finally got into hedonistic. We should be practicing with a dummy target, getting to be at home with poverty. Okay. At poverty, so that fortune cannot catch us unprepared. That's an argument. The great hedonist teacher Epicurus used to observe certain periods during which he would be... I can't say this. I'm gonna... in satisfying his hunger, with the object of seeing to what extent, if at all, one thereby fell short of attaining full and complete pleasure. If at all, one thereby fell short of attaining full and complete pleasure, and whether it was worth going to much trouble to make the deficit good. At least so he says in the letter he wrote to Pollianus in the year Carinus was in office. Wait, Epicurus? I'm gonna fucking critique the greatest hedonist teacher Epicurus used to observe certain periods during which he would be in satisfying his hunger with the object of seeing to what extent, if at all. There we go. And then it says, one thereby fell short of attaining full and complete pleasure, and whether it was worth going to much trouble to make the deficit good. At least so he says in the letter he wrote to Pollianus in the year Charnus was in office. He boasts in it indeed that he is managing to feed himself for less with a halfpenny, whereas Metrodorus, not yet having made such good progress, needs a whole halfpenny. Do you think such fare can do not more than fill a person up? I'm gonna read that part again because that kind of threw me off. He boasts in it indeed that he is managing to feed himself for less than a halfpenny, whereas Metrodorus, not yet having made such good progress, needs a whole halfpenny. Do you think such fare can do no more than fill a person up? It can fill him with pleasure as well, and not the kind of insubstantial fleeting pleasure that needs constant renewal, but a pleasure which is sure and lasting. Barely porridge or a crust of barley bread and water do not make a very cheerful diet, but nothing gives one keener pleasure than the ability to derive pleasure even from that. I mean, like, is LARPing poor? Like, I don't think that, in my opinion, LARPing poor can really work now, because if we really thought about that, right, talking about like, oh, we can't have this in our diet, or like, let's eat like poor people, right? Let's eat like poor people. But then, when you're done eating like a poor person, you're going to go back into your room and you're going to use your TI-84 CE calculator for your calculus homework. Like, does that even fucking do shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, LARPing, eating food poor, but then going back to like a hella good ass fucking thing. And that hella good ass fucking thing is, something we bought with money. I don't know, like, is that really worth it? I don't know if that's worth it at the end. Because, I've gotten, when I'm cutting, I kind of think in the mindset of trying to just get my sustenance in, dude. Like, just my sustenance. That's all that matters to me. And my sustenance, people will say it's shit, but it's just Greek yogurt and, fruits, some eggs, some oats. And people will say that that's fucking disgusting. And I can see why it is disgusting, because it's not that pleasurable to consume that food. But at the same time, though, like, for one person, a delicacy is like another person's fucking goy slop. If we does that make sense, guys? I hope that makes sense. And the feeling of having arrived at something which one cannot be deprived of by any unjust stroke of fortune, prison rations are more generous. The man in the condemned cell is not so scantily fed as that by the executioner. To reduce oneself then of one's own free choice to a diet that no man has any real call to be apprehensive about, even if he is sentenced to death. That is an act of real spiritual greatness. Okay. That one, to do this is truly to forestall the blows of fortune. So, my dear Lucilius, start following these men's practice and appoint certain days on which to give up everything and make yourself at home with next to nothing. Start cultivating a relationship with poverty. Okay, start cultivating a relationship with poverty. I feel like this bar really switched on how I was perceiving this whole thing of, like, in the beginning I was perceiving it as, oh, just eat fucking, act like you're poor as fuck so that you can be grateful for what you have. But to really be interlinked with poverty is kind of a different topic that I didn't think he was going to talk about it. I mean, I don't really have to relate because I used to be in fucking poverty. So So would I have, even though I got out of it, would I still have to like go back to follow the teachings? Like, bro. Dear guest, be bold enough to pay no heed to riches, and so make yourself like him, worthy of a god. For no one is worthy of a god unless he has paid no heed to riches. I am not, mind you, against your possessing them, but I want to ensure that you possess them without tremors. And this you will only achieve in one way, by convicting yourself that you can live a happy life even without them, and by always regarding them as being on the point of vanishing. But it's time I started folding up this letter. Not till you've settled your account, you say. Well, I'll refer you to Epicurus for payment. Anger carried to excess begets madness. How true this is, you're bound to know. Having had both slaves and enemies, it is a passion, though, which flares up against all types of people. It is born of love as well as hate, and is liable to arise in the course of sport. We're going on to the course of sport, or jesting in it as in affairs of a serious kind. The factor that counts is not the importance of the cause from which it springs, but the kind of personality it lands in. In the same way as with fire, what matters is not the fierceness of the flame, but where it catches. Solid objects may resist the fire-cast flame, while conversely dry and inflammable matter will nurse a mere spark into a conflagration. It is true, my dear Lucilius, the outcome of violent anger is a mental raving, and therefore anger is to be avoided, not for the sake of moderation, but for the sake of sanity. It's letter, is this fucking, did we fucking skip some letters? So 15, 16, 17, 18, right? We go to 18. Then we're at 26. 18 to 26 is a huge fucking jump. Fuck you, Seneca. I will fucking jump you. You know, I'm fucking pissed off. Everyone say fuck you, Seneca. Fuck you, Seneca. You're a fucking pussy, bro. What the fuck? Genuinely, what the fuck is wrong with Seneca? Ugh. Yo, no way this Foyd hopped on Roblox. Yo, what the fuck, guys? Hold up. No shot. How the fuck do I join this? Uncomfortable, maybe restricted reason, harassment, or bullying. Bro, I'm restricted for life for 10 minutes. What the fuck? Low-key, we're gonna continue this letter later. I got restricted from life for 10 fucking minutes? That's bullshit as fuck. Yeah, no. So I can't say fuck you, Seneca? Like, what the fuck? Genuinely cannot say fuck you, Seneca. I am pissed the fuck off. Okay.